It's Coreyemmah here, and after quite a long time without making a video in English for this particular channel, I have here some books that I would like to talk about today. Those are books that I purchased during the year 2020, roughly, maybe few months before that year and few months in year 2021. Anyway, they are quite focused on occultism, so every one of you who's watching my channel and would like to dive a little bit deeper into both witchcraft, magic, mysticism and occultism as well might be interested in these books. And I'm making this video in English, even though I previously made videos of this kind of format in Czech language, because of all these books that I will be talking about today are in English language. So if you don't speak English, you will quite possibly won't be able to read any of these, except few of them that were published in English as well and are available in that language. Anyway, I have them all in English language, so I decided that this video will be the best made in English language. Those of them who which are also in Czech, I will definitely mention it. So if you are a Czech speaker who's not that tough or not that feeling good in English waters, don't worry, you can watch my video, and where I will mention that there's a Czech version as well. You can definitely look for that particular book as well. So it's quite loads of books. You know that I'm not buying many books, that I'm always really doing loads and loads of deep research before I purchase something. But after a while, without having some of these in paper and having them only as a PDF, I decided that maybe it will be nice to have them also in paper and to be able to go through them when I'm creating articles or so. Also, I wanted some beautiful and valuable by content books that will be a good company to our Liber Magicae by Femme Occulte, to the first, to the very first issue of Liber Magicae, which is a complete made thing full of articles from Femme Occulte Quarterly from year 2020, plus there are some extra articles as well. I'm not 100% sure when will I be publishing this video, but we are planning to print this one again in autumn. Not leather bound, that was a very limited edition, but bound in canvas probably. So it's possible that that's just right now available on our website www.femmeocculte.com, that you will find below the video, as well as our Etsy site if you prefer that one. Yeah, so let's dive into the books that are helping me with articles that I'm writing for Femme Occulte Creation and so on. And I would probably start with those tiny ones here. So I have here these two tiny booklets by A Fiddler's Green Leaflet by Clint Marsh and Alexis Berger. And I totally love them. So one of them is the Basilisk, 9 defenses against the Basilisk, black and white magic for surviving extreme anxiety. And those different ways how to survive extreme anxiety are divided into like a sun side and the moon side, based on the little symbol that is connected to them. The sunny side has 5 of them, moon side has 4. Quite a lovely booklet. And then here is the Sphinx, the riddle of the Sphinx, the artist's path in the secrets of immortality, whereas briefly mentioned also Eliphas Levi and his approach and connection of different elements to the different parts of the witch's pyramid, which you might know that is the main topic of Femme Occulte. Last year we were working quarterly element by element, and this year we are working side by side of the magical or hermetical pyramid. So those two lovely booklets I really enjoy. Then I have here this beautiful baby by Black Letter Press. Black Letter Press made these to be possible, and or made this book to exist, and it's really beautiful. It's quite tiny but quite thick, and yeah, it's William Butler Yeats on magic and the occult. I will read for you what is the list of contents, because it's like a collection of his works. There's preface, of course, and then roses, the two trees, William Blake and the imagination, which is quite interesting part for me, because I was writing also about William Blake in Liber Magicae last year. Magic, shadowy waters, Rosa Alchemica, the mountain tomb, Per amica silentia lunae, Solomon and the witch. Also that alchemical part will be quite interesting to me. I started reading just a few first pages, but I'm planning to dive into it as soon as I have a little bit more time. But alchemy is another part of Femme Occulte for year 2021. Then I have here one of the classics, the Kibelian. This is a special edition, centenary edition. It's really nice looking. I wanted it for also for like a lovely pictures together with Liber Magicae and so on. I didn't really get any new information from this because of it's just a really brief book, but it has quite a good philosophy, quite a good approach to those different principles of Hermetism. So definitely I would recommend this one to somebody who's starting with Hermetism, occultism and so on. It's quite an interesting or brief and simple way how to get some basic information about some basic principles. Not my favorite though. Then I have here, based on the recommendation of Tarn Mooney, who has also a channel, a YouTube channel, Hermetica. It's the Greek Corpus Hermeticum and the Latin Asclepius in a new English translation with notes and introduction by Brian P. Copenhaver. I'm using this one mainly for my articles about the key symbology, or about keys and their philosophy, let's say, in my current chapters. And yeah, there's a specific part of Corpus Hermeticum called the key itself. So I was diving mainly into that one, and here are then all the notes. It's quite a cool book going into a detail of every single part of Corpus Hermeticum, and I didn't get to the Asclepius part yet, but definitely great read, great thing to read. Also there is a version by a Czech author who translated Corpus Hermeticum and who made notes to it, so there is some material also in Czech language on this specific topic, or on this specific papers, but it's not a translation of the approach or of the notes by Brian P. Copenhagen, but it's his own approach. Unfortunately, I can't remember the name just right now. Then we have here two books which are one and the same book, and those are Keys of Solomon. Also, those will be definitely available in Czech language as well. I have here a version that is edited by Crowley and Mathers, and then here one by Skinner and Rankine. I purchased this one first, because I just wanted to have some of them, and I couldn't figure what kind of PDF do I have, by whom is the PDF that I have, and with which I'm really happy. I purchased this one. I figured that it's a different thing, it's a little bit different text, and basically each of the keys looks completely different to me, or quite different. So I was thinking, when I will purchase this one, maybe I will sell or gift the other one, but I'm actually quite intrigued to compare them at some point in my practice, in my life, when there's time. But look at this beauty, how beautiful the Skinner edition, let's say, or the Skinner version is. It's just such a lovely, lovely book. Again, quite epic and quite a nice companion to Liber Magicae I, which is basically just a little bit bigger, not the same size. Yeah, so these are again some basic materials where you can find sigils. Alphabets are probably the most important part for me, even though they are connected to Agrippa, to whom we will get to just in a minute, and other information on different rituals and so on. Then I have here this lovely, huge book, Golden Dawn by Israel Rigardi, 7th edition, I believe. Yeah, revised and corrected by John Michael Greer. I've got this one based on the recommendation by Dat Darling, whom you probably know. And if you are into occultism, if you're speaking English, definitely check out her YouTube channel. But she's quite big, so you probably know her already. Yeah, this is another really, really beautiful, beautiful book. And I'm just enjoying to go through it, to turn the pages, to just enjoy the pictures, the tables, the information, step by step, one by one. But mainly I'm just putting notes where I need to get back to, rather than to go side or page by page and read it like a story, let's say. Okay. So, and then I have here, basically in the same kind of cover, dust cover, and nearly in the same size, here the 3 books of occult philosophy, the foundation book of Western occultism by Agrippa, and edited with annotation by Donald Tyson. So that's why it's so big. There's so many notes, so many extra information, which I always love. For example, with Eliphas Levi, who's still missing in this kind of collection of physical books in my bookshelf. I totally love approach by Bene Belven in her course Western Witchcraft, I believe it's the name of the course, Transcendental Magic by Eliphas Levi. Her approach is that she is really like cross-checking all the different materials and resources and Levi's works, and also works of other people and people who translated Levi and so on. And there's always those notes everywhere. And I just love it when I have the book itself plus an information, plus an approach, plus another ideas by other people who can say like, oh, here he might be pointing out to this specific other book, or here this other author has a little bit different approach. And I really like this because, of course, even though you read nearly everything, which is absolutely impossible, you still can't really always connect all the strings that might create the right magical knot. And this is really helpful to me. This is really nice, and I really like to connect, syncretize things and so on. So yeah, I'm quite happy with this one. And of course the 4th book is not missing either. And here is the 4th book of occult philosophy. The same author, the same editor, of course. And just to show you this one without the dust cover, that it's as well quite a beautiful piece. quite a lovely book. I totally fell for all the black books with golden letters, with golden imprint, because of they are just perfect partners to this creation that I was working on with other amazing authors. Yeah. Anyway, since I was talking already about Black Letter Press, who made this beautiful little baby book, Black Letter Press is also printing really, really stunning versions of Agrippa's books of philosophy. So if you would like this kind of size, this kind of collection, this kind of vibe, there is this option as well. They also have plenty of other materials on occultism and on herbs, on moon lore, and so on. Then I have here, I will continue, where will I continue? I will continue here with this one. This one, Beelzebub's Tales to His Grandson, All and Everything, first series by G.I. Gurdjieff, is a book that I planned to read just in the afternoons when I'm in the bed already and when I just want something a little bit philosophical, but not too heavy, not too hard to read, and just the cover also intrigued me and so on. I've read a little bit and it's such a heavy read. I love it. There's so much philosophy, metaphysical, and so much. It's just so great. But it's definitely something, and it's definitely not for the evenings after your baby goes to sleep and after you have all the work done. So this one is unfortunately at the moment just waiting in my bookshelf, when I will have enough time to just make million of notes on every single page, on every single sentence, because I really didn't get far with this one. But yeah, it's quite interesting book. I don't know if I could recommend it because I didn't read it, but you can check it out. Okay, and now this one. I'm keeping the best for the end. Witch's Bible. A Witch's Bible is a classic. I had it just in paper, which we had as materials on the university, and just like printed. But yes, now I have the real piece, the book itself, and it's on Wicca. It's on real traditional ceremonial Wicca, even though it's a little bit mixed. The Gardnerian first branch of Wicca and Alexandrian Wicca, I believe. I'm not 100% sure because of when I was writing my thesis on Wicca, I read so many Wiccan books that I'm having it a little bit blurred, honestly. But yeah, here's information on all the different sabbats and also on sexual aspects of magic and so on. So yeah. I can read you actually here from the back. Everything you need to know is here. The sabbats, casting and banishing the magic circle, the complete book of shadows, the great rite, initiation rites, consecration rites, spells, witches' tools, witchcraft and sex, running a coven, clairvoyance, astral projection. So all of this is here in this book, and even though it's kinda old, by Janet and Stewart Farrar, I really enjoy this book, to just come back to it as a reference book when I need to just read some basic information about sabbats, and I really need to have it connected to Wicca itself in its traditional way. There's loads and loads of pictures as well, black and white. Yeah, well, now I will show you this one. I think everyone knows this one, Psychic Witch by Matt Aaron. Unfortunately, it's still not translated to Czech language, even though there's Polish version and Russian version for those of you who don't speak English but would be more close to these Slavic languages. For example, from pre-revolution times, who were learning at school Russian, but it was translated to several languages, to 7 or maybe more. So hopefully it will come in Czech language one day as well. Anyway, I would love to write a review on this book to Femme Occulte. Maybe it's already out, but maybe it's just right now coming. because of this book is so worth it. I have so many notes in it. I'm also coming back to it as a reference book, mainly in like clairvoyance and all these clair ways of senses, and also in connection to different glyphs of planets and their meanings. Those are two things to which I'm coming back to every single quarterly when I'm writing some different correspondences for books. Of course, it's also in the references and in the recommended literature and so on. Yeah, but I would like to write a review on it as well. The big question is how to review a book which was reviewed by everybody already, and how to say something that wasn't said yet. Well, I will be following my experience and my previous experience, my personal gnosis that was confirmed by this book, and also I would like to talk about my feelings through some of the exercises. So that will be added to my review for Femme Occulte, probably for the autumn issue, and yeah, you can be looking forward to it, because this book is definitely, it's like absolutely big, amazing book that needs to be in everyone's bookshelf. It is something like Buckland's Big Blue or Cunningham's Wicca. These are just like books that everyone has to read, and yeah, this one is the book of the millennia, book of 2020, but also for X years after. If you want to be successful practitioner, here you go. Here you have the book. This one and no other. Just this one has to be there in your bookshelf. All the other ones are that you can choose if you want or not, but this one, yes. Okay, so, and by Matt Aaron, I got a recommendation to this one, which is black and silver, not black and gold, but still, it's stunning. And it's called Liber as well, and it was published 2020, I believe, as well as our first Liber. So yeah, it's a bit like cool. Yeah. And it's silver also here on the pages. It's called Liber a contemporary witchcraft and devotional tradition of Hecate. It's by Jeff Cullen, and it's really cool, really stunning. There's a lot of information on Hecate in all her different phases of her stories. There's it's basically a compendium of the tradition that Jeff Cullen is living, his devotion, his work with Hecate and his practice, together with academical research and with research of alt resources and so on. I opted for a book on Hecate, even though my main kind of goddess with whom I'm working for decades is someone else from different pantheon and connected to kind of different symbols or different archetypes. I opted for it because I figured that during the pandemic times, loads and loads of people started to communicate with Hecate, and that Hecate started to be really, really interesting for people all over the globe, for my friends from different places on the earth, for different witches and pagans, and I wanted to be informed, and I was also called by Hecate quite a lot lately. So that's why I went for this beautiful book. There's definitely more books on Hecate, Keeping Her Keys, or Hecate Devotional by Pagan Portals. There's definitely loads of other resources as well, but this one is a really beautiful one. And the best on the very end, I'm super excited about this epic book. It's Llewellyn's Complete Book of Ceremonial Magic, edited by Lon Milo Duquette and David Shoemaker, a comprehensive guide to the Western mystery tradition. I totally love this book. It's a really like something between introductional book and quite a cool reference book. There's Magician's Tables by Hulse. I'm not sure about the first name of his. I will try to find it quickly here. David Allen Hull's, which are sometimes a little bit different than those that you will find in the work of Skinner, of Stephen Skinner, but still I really enjoy those. And there's a little bit of everything: Kabbalah, planetary magic, alchemy, demonology, Abramelin, Enochian magic, Telemach, the Golden Dawn, polytheistic ceremonial magic, those magician stables, and the future of ceremonial magic. Yeah, I super enjoy this book. As you can see here, I have loads and loads of notes. I'm cross-checking my correspondences with it when I'm writing my articles, so I can definitely, absolutely recommend it. Recently, they published also in a very similar design, in orange color, correspondences by Sandra Kynes, which are also quite recommended by plenty of people. I'm not going for those ones at the moment, but if you are missing some kind of reference book with loads and loads of correspondences to different things, you might go for this one. I'm, for example, quite happy with 5000 Spells by Judika Isles, which is not that much correspondences, but you will just find the word and corresponding spells to it. So that's kind of my way how to search at the moment the correspondences, and I'm more through like a symbology and so on. But if you want just like a book with correspondences, that one might be interesting to you as well. And this whole Levelin's Complete Book of is like a big collection, whereas more divination, tarot, and so on. So those are now my new books that I wanted to talk about, and to which I'm going mainly as reference books when I'm creating for Femme Occulte. And I hope you enjoyed that. Definitely let me know under the video which books are you enjoying right now, and see you soon.